Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kimia Andrew and I'm the pattern tutor. So last 2 weeks I dropped a video on how to create this basic bodice block, this bespoke basic bodice block, and today I want to complete this block by adding my darts and extending the bodice so that we can create a longer fit, a dress for us to fit. So to create my darts, I'm going to do what is called a waist suppression. So it's basically turning the space that I have into space for darts, or using the space to create darts. So now I'm going to take the measurements of the new waistline. That is the line B that slants to the center front line. This line is 49 cm, basically half of my bust plus the 5 cm ease that was added to give us some ease on the garment. So my bust was originally 93 cm, then I added 5 cm ease and divided that by 2 to get 49 cm. So this line B is 49 cm. Now the waist that I'm working with is a 76 cm waist, but I'm going to be adding 3 cm ease to that. So the garment ease for the waist is 3 cm. I'm going to be adding that to 76. So if I divide that by 2, I would get 39.5 cm. So the waist that I need to work with is 39.5 cm. Now to get our waist dart suppression, we need to first subtract our desired waist measurement, which is 39.5 cm, from the existing measurement, which is 49 cm. This now gives us a total dart suppression of 9.5 cm. Now I'm going to separate this 9.5 into 4 places. I'm going to give a little bit of dart suppression to my center back at the waist. I'll give a bit of dart suppression to my back dart. I'm going to give a bit to the side seam as well as the front dart. Our front dart is going to be much bigger because that's where our bust is and we need to create more room for that. So I'm going to start by marking 1.5 cm for my center back from point B. So with this 1.5 cm, I'll connect back to my neck depth. So point T is going to serve as my bust point line, which is the line that I'm going to be using for my front dart. Now my front dart suppression is 4 cm. So I'm going to be marking 2 cm on each side of line T. So 2 cm on each side of my dart line, center dart line. I'm going to mark as T1 and T2. Next is my side dart suppression. So my side dart suppression is 2 cm in total. So after extending my UP line down to the new waistline, I'm going to be marking 1 cm on each side of my UP line. This I'll be marking as U1 and U2. My back dart suppression is also 2 cm, so I'm going to be marking 1 cm on each side of the broken line that I've already created for my back dart line. I'll be marking this as B1 and B2. Now let's connect all our suppression to their respective points. So T1 and T2 I'll be connecting to point K, U1 and U2 I'll be connecting to point UP, then B1 and B2 I'll be connecting to the tip of the back dart line that is on line F. Now the 1.5 cm that I have marked from point B on the new waistline, I'm going to be connecting to point A. That's going to be a suppression for my center back, which I should have labeled. I know, I should have labeled this thing. Anyway, so this is me connecting B1 and B2 to the tip of my back dart line. So So if you're planning on just making a basic bodice block, you've done it. This is a bespoke basic bodice block. At this point, you can use this for whatever you desire. Now the last thing I'm going to do to complete this basic bodice block is to sew my dart legs. Now because my waistline is slanted, these dart legs are not going to be at the same point, so I've used my tracing wheel to trace over the first dart leg, the one that is longer, and I'm going to fold it over to the other side, just gently over the shorter dart leg. Now the idea is to be able to make sure that at the waistline these dart legs align. They are not going to align this way because of the slant, so I'm going to be using a sticky tape to hold it down. Then I'll use a curved ruler to now blend the parts that are not well, this part that is not well blended. I'm going to use a curved ruler to blend it, and then I'll take my tracing wheel again and through the dart leg so that I can have that pointy finish for my dart leg. Now for my side seam, it's more about the blending than the chewing. I'm not going to chew, I just need to blend to make sure that my side seams are perfectly aligned. You need your side seams to always align perfectly, if not you're going to end up having hanging pieces. For my back darts, I'm going to do exactly what I did for the front. So for the side seam, just blending. For the back darts, I will blend and chew just like I did for the front. Now before I forget, I haven't chewed my back shoulder dart yet, so I'm just going to chew that, run my tracing wheel over the longer dart leg, fold over to the shorter dart leg, and then this time around, instead of just blending the point that is not aligning, I'm going to just draw a straight line from NP to SP, so it's going to give us a slightly different look on the shoulder line, which is fine. You need that to have like a smooth finish to your shoulder. And now I'll go ahead and chew my back shoulder dart. And that's it, a finished bespoke basic bodice block. Now a must-have for every pattern block or pattern is grain lines. So I'm going to be adding grain lines to my block, especially because my back is not going to be cut, the center back is not going to be cut straight, so I need that grain line to be able to balance that against my fabric. Since my center front is going to be cut on fold, I'm going to leave my center front line to serve as my grain line for now. Now that the basic bodice block is done, I'm going to be extending the pattern. This is so that I can have a dress version of this block for fitting. So I'm going to start by marking my hip level. So from U1, U2, I'm going to measure my hip depth. Now standard for hip depth or hip level is 20 to 25 cm. So you can just always use this to check whatever measurement you get for your hip depth. Now for this block, the hip depth is 20.5 cm. So from U2, I'm going to measure down 20.5 cm, which I would square from the center back line to the center front line. I guess someone finally learned how to label. So the hip line on the back I'm labeling as V, and then W for the point where the line touches the center front. Now because this is a bespoke block, your front and back patterns are not going to be the same. Your front, even if there's a belly, most times it's not as big as your back, and your back has the bump. Now without complicating issues, I'm just going to stick to a standard, but keep in mind that there are situations where the belly might be bigger than the bump. There are situations like that, so don't think that everything has to be this way. Now let's mark our hip width measurement for the front. So the total hip that I'm working with for this block is 100 cm. I have a 2 cm garment ease, making it 102 cm. Now if I divide this by 4, I'm going to have 25.5 cm. Now I'm not imputing that for the front. I'm going to subtract 1.5 cm from that 25.5, leaving me with 24 cm. So from W, I'll be marking inwards 24 cm for my front hip. Now I'll be labeling my front hip width as X. Then I'll be connecting U1 to X with a hip curve. The next thing to do is to extend my front dart. So I'm going to extend the middle dart leg for my front dart all the way down to the hip line. Now the standard that I use for this extension for my front dart is 13 cm. So from the new waistline, I'm going to extend the dart by 13 cm. So I'll measure 13 cm from the new waistline, and then I'll connect that point back to T1 and T2, creating my diamond shaped dart. Now for the back, I'm going to measure 25.5 from V plus the 1.5 cm that we took off from our front. So whatever we took off from the front, I'm adding back to the back, so this creates a balance. This point will be labeled as point Y, and then I'll connect U2 to point Y with a hip curve to create my backside seam. Now this overlap is bound to happen because the space I'm working with is too small for my hip. The extension for my back dart is 15 cm, so it's just 2 cm longer than the front dart. But keep in mind that there's a slant from the front towards the back, so it slopes from the back down to the front, so that 15 cm most times might end up being on the same level with the 13 cm of the front. Now for the center back, there's going to be shaping that happens at that 1.5 cm that we took in from the waistline. So from B, on the center back line, measure down 10 cm, then using your curve, connect that 1.5 to the 10 cm with a curve. Now for further extension, I'm going to extend the measurement down to the above knee level. Now based on measurement, the above knee level for this block is going to be 43 cm. Now to complete my side seam, I'm going to square down point X and Y down to the above knee level, so above knee line. Now remember that line X is for the front and line Y is for the back. And at this point, I'm done with my block. So I'm going to trace it out and then twirl it, just sample it so that I know whether it fits right or it doesn't. And after tracing, I went ahead and sewed my pattern. Let's see how it fits. So I think this fits really nicely. I like the fit of it. I like how it sits in front. I like how the back fits. I'm really happy with the way that the pattern turned out. There's definitely going to be a little bit of adjustments here and there, which I will definitely do with you. But yeah, I'm generally happy with the result. And of course, I'm aware that I haven't dropped the sleeve block yet, which I'll be doing in a couple of weeks now. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel, like, share, comment, subscribe. I look forward to hearing from you. And when you do try this pattern out, please tag me on Instagram at the pattern tutor. I look forward to seeing your results. Thank you and see you next time.